Oh, Jamar Chase with the dive. Because Garrett Wilson's wide open. Garrett Wilson, touchdown Barrett. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another episode of the Honolulu Desperados Relocation franchise here on Madden 24. We are finishing up season number 8 today. Can you believe that we are almost done with 8 full seasons of Honolulu football, with a few championships thrown in there? That is for sure. A few championships have been tossed in there. I think 4 to be exact, right? Because Anthony Richardson got 2. No, it's just 3. It's just 3. Richardson got 2, then Jonathan Young got 1. So those are the 3 championships that we have. So just 3 championships, but still, 3 championships in 8 seasons is very, very nice. Very nice. But we are coming close to the end of some of the longest tenured players on this team. Some of the original members of this Desperados organization coming to the end of their contracts and probably their career as a Desperado. Maybe even as the career as the player, because they might retire. They're over 30 now, so who knows what they're going to do. But guys like Micah Parsons, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Pat Freiermuth, guys like that have been around since the very, very beginning, since season 1, those guys are probably not going to be here very much longer. It's going to be a sad day when they leave, but they'll have their jersey retired. They will be in the Ring of Honor here in Honolulu. Excuse me. They'll have their jersey retired. They'll be in the Ring of Honor here in Honolulu, and they will be remembered as some of the greatest Desperados of all time. But you gotta let the old guard leave so you can bring in new talent and have new names make their legend here in Honolulu. So that's gonna be what season 9 and season 10 hopefully will become. But let's wrap up season number 8 today. It's gonna be week 11 through the end of the season, week 18. Hope you guys are excited. If you are, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's get season 8 wrapped up. Last episode, we started season 8, and we started it very, very well. We went 8-1 through the first 9 games of the season, through the first 10 weeks of the season. And we're looking pretty comfortable to keep that alive. Now, we've had in the past, had some very bad second halves of the season, where we've lost out on the 1 seed, we've lost out on even the division at times. I don't know if that's going to happen today, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. We will have to wait and find out. But we are at week 11, so we will do some focus players here. And I think this has got the potential to be one of our best draft classes that we've ever been a part of. Now, maybe not personally for us drafting players, but just in terms of the overall talent that this draft class possesses, how deep it has the potential to be, I think this could be a very good draft class. Now, I obviously don't know how good these overalls are. We will find that out in the draft recap. But for right now, it looks to be very, 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 very good. Very, very deep. And I have this man on my radar right now. It's Steve Tiller. Hardly know her. The reason he's on my list mainly is because he's from Ohio State, but also because we're going to be losing out on Waddle and Smith here in the near future. We have Lynn Lashley. We have the other guy. I keep forgetting his name. I feel bad for him. I keep forgetting his name. But this guy could be the third piece to the team that is the new generation of receivers. So Steve Tiller looks very, very good, but we need to know a little bit more about him. So he's going to be one of our guys that we do, but I'll do that in a second. Jamie Bolden also looks fantastic. He's got A catching. He's pretty good athletically. He's got A block shed for a corner, which is crazy. He's got A press, B man, B zone. He looks very good. He's not maybe the best player in the class, but he does look, hey, like he could have the potential to be. I don't think he will be at the end of the day, but he does look very, very good. Sergio Hawley also looks really, really good. Obviously, he's going to look good because he's at the top of the class. He's a top 5 talent. We've also got this guy, Clayton Mahan, who I also looked at, who looks very good. If we end up not being able to get Tiller, however you say his name, I think it's Tiller. Mahan would be a nice second option at receiver. I do think I'm going to be going for receiver this year, just so that we can have somebody already in the system, an extra guy already in the system for when Smith and Waddle leave. I think it's Waddle leaves before Smith. I'm pretty sure. I think Waddle has 1 year left on his, or 1 year less than Smith on their contract. So I think Waddle will go first and then Smith. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. So the 3 guys that I'm going to use my focus players on is going to be Tiller. Then it's going to be probably, I want to use it on Bolden, but he's already at 95%. I think that by the end of the season, we'll have him at 100%. If not, we can use one of our final ones on him. Probably Sergio Hawley, and then definitely this guy Mahan. I definitely want to know about him. So we'll get Mahan up to probably 85%, I'd say. Maybe even 90%. We'll see what happens. But those are going to be my 3 focus players for Week 11. I also need to see, what was our draft pick capital looking like? I know we have a few extra draft picks. We have the 25th pick from the Raiders and then our own. Okay, so the Raiders are not helping me out. Raiders are having a good season. I really need the Raiders to have a collapse at the second half of the year. Negotiations, we got DeMarcus Smith. We've got $83 million. Oh, that's right. We were trying to get, trying to figure out Greg Rousseau's contract. And there's Jalen Waddle. We're going to let Jalen Waddle leave in free agency. Probably the same thing with Freiermuth. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with Freiermuth, actually. DeMarcus Smith I want to bring back. So DeMarcus Smith will give you a 3-year deal. We'll pay you $7 million and $9 million, and hopefully you accept that. He does. Perfect. That leaves us with $68 million. Rousseau, Waddle, Freiermuth, Ricardo Barnes probably should try to bring back. Deron Bland. Let's get Josh Rice back first. Or at least attempt to get Josh Rice back. Let's offer him that. He's going to come back. $64 million. Who should we... Oh, this guy's the fast guy, right? This is Carlos Khan. I think I remember him being super fast. Yeah, 95. Wow, he's actually developed into a really fast receiver. Even more fast than when I drafted him. So we're definitely going to extend him for a little bit. Because we need to have that speed around. So that's a re-signing. Deron Bland, do I want to bring him back? He's not going to cost very much. I'll give him a little 2-year deal. We'll give him like that and see if he accepts it. He does. So he's coming back for 2 seasons. Ricardo Barnes, I don't know what I want to do with him. Jonathan Young, I remember debating about whether to not accept Jonathan Young's 5th-year option and then just going and straight up re-signing him to a contract because I feel like we would get the contract cheaper. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think I've made that decision. Bernard Raymond, I think we're going to let walk because we just brought back the other left tackle, so he's just going to probably stay or start ahead of him. I don't know. I'm going to leave these guys until the end of the season because I want to know how much money we have left after we give Jonathan Young his extension. So I'm going to leave all these guys left until the end of the year. That's where we'll leave that for now. But we will simulate Week 11 against the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not sure which games we'll jump into today. We'll probably jump into maybe 2 games today. Help the team get a win, or at least attempt to help the team get a win. And we have 2 breakout scenarios, a linebacker and a quarterback. Obviously, the quarterback being Jonathan Young. We do beat the Vikings 27-21, so let's get the Jonathan Young one out of the way. We're taking on the Raiders, who we have their pick. We have the Vegas Raider pick. Jonathan Young's come off a stellar performance. You love to see that. He needs to throw 1 or fewer interceptions and have 350 scrimmage yards, or 4 total touchdowns to get his X factor. Because I think he's a superstar, right? So he has to get X factor. That'd be awesome if we could get him to have X factor, because we haven't had an X factor since Anthony Richardson. This is going to be Will Booth, who I think is only normal development. Yes, he is. So he has a chance to go to star. That would be amazing if Will Booth could get star development. Absolutely amazing. I don't think I'm going to jump into this game because I think it does better for linebackers if I don't get involved. So we're going to hope that we can win this game and Jonathan Young has a good year, or a good game against them. We beat them 28-24. That's a good sign. It doesn't always guarantee that we got the upgrade, but it is a good sign. And it helps lower their draft pick because they took a loss. So let's view the quarterback first. Did we get X factor? 28 points is possible for touchdowns, for 4 touchdowns. Oh, not too much. No X factor for Jonathan Young, but the fact that he's playing good enough to have a breakout scenario means that at the end of the season, when we get to the Super Bowl, even if we're not involved in it, he could just naturally go up to X factor. That's a possibility. It's not guaranteed to happen, but it is a possibility. And now let's see if Will Booth got it. No! It's so easy to go from normal to star. How'd you not do it, Will? Oh, that's so brutal. We needed to have Will Booth have that. If Will Booth would have had star development, that would have made me so much happier. Atkinson, did we know Atkinson had superstar development? I think we did. Oh, it's Britton. That's what it is. I keep forgetting this dude's name. I apologize to him. But I think we knew that the left guard or the right guard had superstar development. But Will Booth, man, if you would have had freaking star development now, oh, I'd be so happy. I'd be so freaking happy. McCullers, are you even playing McCullers? He is. He's getting close. I really hope he's got X Factor. That'd be amazing. He's probably only gonna have star, but I'd really hope if he had X Factor. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna definitely need to draft some sort of offensive line this offseason. What we could do is we could move Chamberlain back to left tackle once Raymond leaves. We can move Chamberlain back to left tackle. Well, back to tackle. He was playing right tackle before. Back to left tackle to take over for Raymond when he leaves. We could move Hoffman or not, either one. We can move them to guard, and then the offensive line would still be pretty good. But we'll probably need to draft some offensive linemen this year anyway, because I always draft offensive linemen just to keep the rotation moving, keep the depth going. But having Jonathan Young, oh, he would have been only superstar. He's only star development, so it wouldn't have been X Factor. It would have just been superstar. But I still would have liked him to have it. And then on the defense, Eli Downing's turned out to be a really, really good pick. Deron Bland we re-signed. The corners turned safeties. They're looking pretty good. Just that Will Booth, man. I wish you would have got the freaking star development, man. That would have been awesome. It would have been awesome. But now we play the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a very tough team. Very tough team. And we win 26-24. We are dominating this year. We are absolutely dominating. I'm probably going to jump in against the 49ers. One, we haven't played the 49ers in a while, and they really suck. They're 3-9. This is the second year in a row where the 49ers have less than 5 wins this deep into the year. That's pretty crazy, actually. That is pretty darn crazy. But I am going to jump into this game, so we'll get to see a little bit of gameplay here with the boys on the road in the Field of Jeans. Let's go get it. Here we are. It is time. Desperados and Niners, and it looks like I forgot to change the jerseys. That's my bad. Usually I rock the full one-color jerseys because that's the whole point of the series was to see these jerseys. But we've seen them all a bunch. We don't really get to see the base home jerseys or the base away jerseys. And it looks like my headphones have disconnected. That's okay. It's all right. We don't really get to see these just regular jerseys that they come with, so it's fine. It's not a big deal. Oh, Bijan gets around the corner. That's the speed. Make a man miss. He does. Oh, I was really hoping you could hold a block there for a second, and Bijan could have been gone. Absolutely gone with that one. All right, I'm going to roll out to the left. Or the right, I mean. Fire that in. Oh, diving Smith. Diving attempt from Devontae Smith. And he could not get it. It was just a little bit out of reach. That would have been awesome if he would have been able to grab that, but that's okay. It's understandable he couldn't get it. Understandable. I am going to go underneath to Lynn Lashley, but it's going to be incomplete. Another inaccurate ball. 0 for 3 to start the day for Jonathan Young. And, oh, he's doing a little, like, talking thing. That's pretty funny. I think we just go down the middle to Freiermuth here. We hope that he's open. He is not enough. Oh, my God, Freiermuth. That window was tiny, but he held on to the ball. Thank God. That was a risky pass. I should not have thrown it now that I think about it, but I did. You know I like to throw the risky pass. Jonathan Young stepping up in the pocket, squeezes through the middle, and he dives down 2nd and 1. That's the athleticism of Jonathan Young that we drafted right there. He's not the most athletic guy in the world, but he does have a little bit of wheels when needed to. To the flat, to Bijan, gets that first down. All right, now we're starting to cook here. Now we're starting to saute. We're starting to flambe. We're getting the goods. Britton's out there now with Lashley and Smith. I gotta go underneath. Freiermuth's open. Throw me a block. Good job. But he didn't really throw me a great block. But Freiermuth got to the first down marker anyway. And then we're gonna go halfback slip screen. Sleep? Who's out there? It's Stackhouse, who's also has his 5th-year option coming up pretty soon. Or actually this year. And Stackhouse, make a man miss. Ooh, I should have juked the other way, I think. If I would have juked the other way, I might have had a better chance. But that was a good screen pass to Stackhouse, and now we'll go right back to him here with the handoff. Stackhouse cuts it up the middle of the field. Stackhouse rolls in, and he's at the 1. Ooh, I thought he was going to roll and get that ball across the line. That would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. But now it's time for Bijan to vulture this touchdown because that's what Bijan does. And Bijan Robinson slides into the end zone. Touchdown, Desperados. We lead here in the Field of Jeans. Continue to the next moment. Let's see the defense dominate here. Let's see the defense dominate. They allow a field goal. That's fine. I really need our offense to start scoring some points. Are we going to do something here? We get a field goal, 10-3. Oh, the Niners scored a touchdown. It's 10-10. All right, let's not get out of hand here. What's going on? It's 10-13. The Niners are not a good team. They're a 3-win football team deep into the season. They are not that good, and yet they're cooking us. That's a good pass. One play touchdown, Jalen Waddle. Well, one play when after I jumped in. It was multiple plays to get there. But that's a big touchdown. I thought for a second he was going to overthrow that, but he got there. And the Niners have scored again. Why is this Niner team always play me difficult? It's probably because we've had 3 turnovers today. I don't know if it's because interceptions or what it is, but 3 turnovers is not ideal. Oh, Devontae. I think Devontae's got it. Back of the end zone. Hufunga with the interception. The fact that he was able to pick that off and that wasn't a touchdown is kind of annoying, but it's whatever. We get the ball back. We still have a little bit of time left. Red zone. Let's go with the drive corner. 4 turnovers is kind of crazy. But we have a chance to win this game in walk-off fashion. Oh, that's not going to work, though. I got to use one of my timeouts here. I thought I had a lot more room. I really did. I thought that offensive line was going to block a little bit longer than they did. I should have known that they wouldn't. Is this going to work? No, I'm just going to check it down to Bijan or not. Jonathan Young's going to throw it completely opposite way that I needed him to. And we're going to have a 3rd and 13. This is not going ideal. This is not the ideal situation. The Steelers are 2-11. It's kind of gross. All right, Jonathan Young steps up. It's 4th and 6. We'll use another timeout, and I think we'll just take the field goal. I don't want to risk it. Especially since we're right here. So just take the field goal. Go into overtime against them. We have a chance, actually. Oh, no, we're into overtime. Okay. And we won. We beat the Niners in overtime. We survive against a 3-win football team. It was an ugly one. But we got the job done in the end. And that's what championship teams do. They get the job done even in the ugly games. So that's a big victory. You love to see it. We're on a huge win streak, by the way. Absolutely huge win streak. Beat our rivals, the Niners, and crucially, the Seahawks have started to slow down a little bit. They were undefeated for a while. Ooh, a breakout defensive line scenario. Interesting. Have we clinched the division, or is it still not? We've clinched a playoff spot. The only team in the NFL to clinch a playoff spot yet. Ooh, we're the best team by far. My God, okay. The Raiders are the next best team, but they're only 9-4. So maybe their draft pick will start to suffer. I hope, at least, for our sake. I do want to change the lineup a little bit here. I want to get that fast receiver a little bit more playtime. So we're going to take Gerald Baisley out, even though I do like Gerald Baisley. He's a very good player. He's got potential, but I want to change him. I want to get Carlos Cone, excuse me. I want to get him into the lineup a little bit so that he can get some playtime, so that he can get some speed going, because he's very fast. He's very, very fast. So he's going to get a little bit of playtime here. Hopefully he gets a little bit of targets. We're going to have him probably play... He's probably going to be kick returner too, because he's super fast. So let's go to kick return. McClellan is 95 speed, 99 excel, so that's pretty good. But we'll bring in who's the same, actually. They're both the fastest. So we'll have him start at both, but they're both 95 speed, 95 or 99 excel, which to have that fast of players at both positions or at wide receiver is pretty awesome. So we'll switch him. We'll just get him a little bit more playtime. I want him to get a few more snaps so we can develop a little bit. Who's this breakout D-line? It's Eli Downing. Remember, last episode, he was normal development and had a breakout scenario to go up to star. He achieved that, and now he's got a chance to go from star to superstar. When we drafted him, he was normal development, and I thought he might have had potential to be a bust. But right now, he's playing above his skis, and he is about to be superstar, hopefully. If we beat the Chargers and he looks good, we do beat the Chargers. We're not getting lucky with the breakouts this episode. Now again, Jonathan Young didn't get his. Will Booth didn't get his, and now Eli Downing didn't get his. So that's 0 for 3 on breakout scenarios in today's episode. Not good lucks, but hey, we're still winning ball games. We're 13-1, headed to the game against Denver. Let's join the Mile High Club right here. Let's get a big W against Denver, and we are winning a bunch of games. This team is a lot better than I would have expected. I don't remember who the one team that beat us was. Was it the Niners? Did we lose to the Niners earlier in the season, last episode? I feel like that's what happened. I could be making that up. I am going to jump into this game against the Seahawks because, well, we've clinched the division, but I do want, and we've clinched number 1 seed, but I do want to play the Seahawks since they're kind of our technical new rival because the Niners have their 3 wins, basically. They haven't won a game since we played them, so they're kind of sucking. And Jonathan Young is second in the passing, and Bijan leads the rushing. We're killing the game. Micah Parsons leads. Micah Parsons has 27 sacks. Oh my God. There's still 2 games to go. I wonder if he can get to 30. I wonder if he could get to 30. We're just killing. No wonder we're winning so many games. But Jonathan Young, with one good performance these next 2 weeks, is going to get probably close to 4,500 yards. If he has 2 really good performances. One, he'll get over. Obviously, he just gets over 100 yards. He'll get 4,000. But if he could get to 4,500 within these 2 games, he'd have to go crazy. But it's possible. It is possible. Let's jump into this final game against the Seahawks. We got one more game after this in the Detroit game. We probably should jump into that one more than this one, but it's Seattle. Let's jump in. Here we are, final game that we're going to jump into. Seahawks make the trip to Honolulu to try to upset our huge season that we're having. We already lead 7-0. They tie it back up at 7. Late first half, they're driving down the field again. They get another touchdown. Okay, so we jump in, 2-minute drill. And you know, since I'm playing the Seahawks, I had to pull out the highlighter uniforms. They had to rock their highlighter green. Where do we go with this football here? Oh, I see him. I didn't see him until it was almost too late. It's Pat Freiermuth down the field. He's got a linebacker on him, and he's going to take it to the house. A one-play tutty for the Freiermuth. Muth. Pat Freiermuth. I almost didn't see him. That was close. Huge touchdown. Good ball from Jonathan Young, and he takes it all the way to the house. Let's get in the end zone one more time. There it is. 21-14. Come on, defense. Okay. Little lackluster, but we got it. 21-21. Down at the 5. A chance to take the lead right back. Handoff. Bijan cuts it. Fight Bijan. He's in. He rolls into the end zone. Bijan Robinson, the all-time leader in touchdowns in Desperado history because he's the only running back that would have that. There's no other competition for him. He's been here 8 years. Who else is going to win? Who else is going to have it? But it'll be interesting to see, like I said, when we get to that 10-year mark, we'll take a retrospective and see kind of who's the all-time leader in whatever, passing yards, receiving yards, all that kind of good stuff. It is 28-28, though. The Seahawks have a chance to upset us, and they're not going to do it. They punted us the ball back. It is 51 seconds, 28-28, a chance to kick a field goal to win the game, but I want to score a touchdown to win this game. Oh, mother! Oh, that was amazing. That could have been a huge catch. I don't even know if he got a hand on that. He might have just dropped it. We do kick the field goal, so that's good. But, oh, the Seahawks are driving, and the Seahawks have kicked a field goal as well. 6 seconds remaining. The defense got cooked so bad, the Seahawks scored another got a field goal. I can't believe this defense. What's happening? Final play. I was trying to get it a touchdown, but there was nobody open deep enough to get a touchdown, so we will have to go to overtime against the Seahawks. What is it with me jumping into these games? We jumped in against the 49ers, we went to overtime. We jump in against the Seahawks, we go to overtime. What is happening here? Why can't my teams just win these games outright? Why do we always have to go to overtime? I'd prefer just to win. Although the Seahawks it's more reasonable that we go to overtime against the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a better team than what the Niners were. That was embarrassing. We went to overtime against them. And the Seahawks beat us. They got a field goal. It was next person win. Both teams had a possession. Oh, they scored a touchdown, actually. So the Seahawks walk it off with a touchdown. They beat us. We don't have one win or one loss anymore. kudos to them. We already locked up the 1 seed, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But hey, they beat us in overtime. They beat us in overtime. I wonder if we would have won if I wouldn't have jumped in. Curious, but it doesn't matter now. We lost. And now we take on the Detroit Lions, who are one of our other rivals. I feel like we only have 2 rivals, maybe 3. We have the Niners, obviously, but now they're kind of falling towards the wayside because they're getting bad. The Lions, obviously, are one of our big rivals because we've had massive playoff games against them in the past 8 years. Or 7 years. And then now probably the Seahawks I'd consider a big rival of us. So they're probably taking the spot of the Niners right now. If the Niners have a resurgence, then they'll be right back there as big rival. But for right now, it's just the Lions and the Seahawks. Those are the 2 teams that we see the most. And we back our way into the playoffs. We lose to the Lions as well. That's not great. Luckily, we already had locked up the 1 seed by a big margin. But it's not great that we lose our last 2 games of the season to get into the playoffs. I wonder what that's going to do for our confidence. But we're here at the playoffs. Let's take a look at stats. So Jonathan Young ends up with 4,400. So he did get very close to 4,500. He doesn't actually get it. Then you've got 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, 68% completion percentage. These are great numbers from Jonathan Young here. 4,400 yards. Over 35 at 35 touchdowns is really, really good. Very good season from him. Bijan, 1,700 yards and 22 touchdowns. Wow. 22 touchdowns? Is that Offensive Player of the Year? Please tell me that's Offensive Player of the Year. I hope so. Devontae Smith had 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. Waddle had 926 and 5. Freiermuth had 858 and 3. Lynn Lashley, 827 and 4. Did Cone play? No, he didn't get to play any. He was just too far down the depth chart. That's okay. Once we start to thin out the roster a little bit with our receivers, he'll get a little bit more play time. At least he should. Defensively, Ben Ingram led the team with 108 tackles. Wilbon had 100. Parsons had 91, and I do see he did get 30 sacks. Micah Parsons is a freak of nature. 91 for Bland, 80 for DeJuan Allen. Now we moved him to safety. Greg Rousseau had 74. Tackle for loss leader is Parsons with 19, as you would expect. Rousseau had 14, 12 for Eli Downing, 11 for Wilbon, 8 for Herrera. Sack leader, obviously, is going to be Parsons with 30. And then Downing had 14, Rousseau had 13.5, Herrera had 5.5, 3.5 for Ricky Reynolds. I don't even remember who Ricky Reynolds is, but 3.5 sacks is pretty good. And then Will Booth is 2.5. A couple guys had 2, half a sack, whatever. Not a lot of interceptions this year, though. 2 for Bland, 1 for Ingram, Wilbon, Allen, and Coleman. A lot more pressure on the quarterback, not as much turnovers in terms of getting interceptions. But I'll take it. Little peek at the legacy leaderboard. We sit at number 5, but that's before we play the postseason. If we get another championship, hopefully, that'll bring us to 4 NFC championships and 4 Super Bowls, and maybe even 2 Coach of the Year awards. So that should jump us ahead of Mike McCarthy. It probably won't take us ahead of Harbaugh, but it should take us ahead of McCarthy. Maybe right below him. Maybe we get to like 7,900 or something. We should get pretty close if we win another championship. It's going to take us a while to get up to this rank right here with Reed and Madden. We're going to have to win more championships and more Super Bowls, basically. All right, that's going to wrap up season number 8. We will have the postseason in the next episode. Remember, the postseason is as ever long as we go. If we lose in the divisional round and it's just one game, it's unfortunate, but that's what's going to happen. If we go all the way to Super Bowl, then it'll be the entirety of the postseason in one video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I like the way our team is looking. This team performed way better than I expected. I expected a little bit of a downtick, considering we've lost a lot of pieces that are very, very good over the past couple of years. But the emergence of Jonathan Young being a huge number 1 quarterback, Bijan's obviously a freak of nature. Having these 2 great receivers plus the backup receivers that are really, really good. The offensive line's solid. The defense is great. With Micah Parsons being, speaking of freak of nature, Micah Parsons is not of this planet. He is an alien. That's how freaky he is. Eli Downing's turning out to be a great draft pick. Will Booth played really well, even though he didn't get star development. Although I have a sneaky suspicion that when we get to Super Bowl week, next episode, he will have natural progression to star. I have a sneaky suspicion. I don't know if that's really going to happen, but I do have a suspicion he's going to do that. We still don't even know what McCullers' development trait is. He hasn't played enough snaps to get his revealed yet, so hopefully that's Superstar or X Factor. Don't know for sure, but I'm assuming Hoffman is going to have star. That's not going to be a shocker. But we got some moves to make in the offseason. We'll have to figure some things out. We also have the negotiations. We can't forget about that. We have the extensions that we got to give out. We got to figure out what we want to do with Greg Rousseau. Jalen Waddle's going to leave. Freiermuth, got to figure out what we want to do with him. Ricardo Barnes is probably going to leave. I might bring him back. I don't know. I guess we'll see how much money we have after we re-sign Jonathan Young, who's now at 67. See, this is what I'm talking about. He's at 67 million. So if we keep pushing this back, he's going to want so much more money. It's going to get out of hand. So I want to lock him down for cheaper nowadays than in a couple of seasons or maybe even next year when he's going to want maybe 200 million or something. You never know. So I think that's what we're going to do with him. And then we'll let the other guys walk. So that's going to do it for the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.